Hello and welcome to Sarvatra. Let me start this video by wishing all my brothers and sisters in India and in Pakistan a very happy 74th Independence Day. It is the 15th of August, it's the Independence Day of Pakistan and India. Oh yeah, you lot too. Some of you might now ask me why I chose to wish Pakistanis today, because after all it is the 15th, it's a day belated to do so, because Pakistanis after all celebrate their Independence Day on the 14th of August. So well, I hope to answer this question as we go through this video, but I would like to start off with this one comment that I received on one of my videos on another channel that some of you may be familiar with. So it does suggest that Pakistan was born a day earlier. Now there are a lot of claims that the standard Pakistani syllabus narrative make, which require a lot of mental gymnastics. This question being a case in point. When was Pakistan born? How was it born on the 14th of August when it actually de facto became independent on the 15th? That's one question. There's another, if you were to really engage with them, you might even hear these, like, hey, did Pakistan actually gain independence? Because how can something that was never colonized gain independence? And Pakistan was never colonized. It was British India after all which was colonized. So how can Pakistan be given independence when it wasn't under anybody's rule? So Pakistan came into being whilst India got her independence. That's some next level thinking right there. Thank you. We'll address this too. So, this is not the reason or the purpose of this video. I just wanted to wish you all a happy Independence Day, because both Indians and Pakistanis claim that in August 1947 their countries got their independence. Now, is that so? The answer, unfortunately, is no. Neither did Pakistan nor did India gain their independence in August of 1947, at least not complete independence. In the 1920s, the Indian independence movement started calling for dominion status. What was dominion status? Dominion status is something like what Australia has today, or what Canada has, where they are independent countries, but the head of state is still the British monarch, the Queen or the King in those days. At that time, there was this group of nationalist elements within the independence movement who, unfortunately for us, never get their fair share of description in our history books, be it the revolutionaries like Chandrasekhar Azad, Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, Sukhdev, or those like Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and warriors from the Indian National Army. What these nationalist elements during that time were calling for was Purna Swaraj, or total independence, not being dominions. They didn't want to be dominions under the British Crown. They wanted complete, total sovereignty. But what happened in 1947 was that both these countries became crown dominions. That is, on the 15th of August, yes, Pakistanis, it is 15th of August. In fact, let's pause a while. Now, here I'm going to link, and I'm also going to show you here, this is the Indian Independence Act of 1947. Now the act says that India would be divided into two independent dominions namely India and Pakistan. And they would both come into being on the 15th day of August. Pakistanis, पढ़ें, गौर से पढ़ें, लिंक किया हुआ है मैंने यहाँ पे. Don't delude yourselves. So what happened on the 15th of August is that these two countries came into being as two independent dominions under the British Crown. So the Emperor of India ceased to be the Emperor of India, there's King George, and what he instead became was the King of India and the King of Pakistan. And he had his representative rule on his behalf these two newly created crown dominions. In the case of India, the Viceroy, the last Viceroy of India, Lord Mountbatten, became the first Governor General, the representative of the British monarch. Similarly, in Pakistan, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah became the first Governor General of Pakistan, ruling in the name of His Majesty King George V. India had two Governor Generals. One was Lord Mountbatten and then C. Rajagopalachari. And then in 1950, India got her constitution thanks to the efforts of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, and India became an independent republic on the 26th of January 1950. On this day, India had no link whatsoever with the British Crown. Pakistan took a while. It took 9 years for Pakistan to become a republic. So in 1956, after two monarchs, that is King George V and then his daughter Queen Elizabeth II, who were both the king and then the Queen of Pakistan respectively, they ruled Pakistan through the Governor Generals, four of them starting off with Quaid-e-Azam and then all the way until Iskandar Mirza. So until then, Pakistan was also a constitutional monarchy. These were countries which officially de facto became independent only when they became republics. 1950 for India, 1956 for Pakistan. I think it is also worthwhile mentioning at this point that the Indian Independence Act of 1947, which was a British statute, a statute of the United Kingdom. Now, this act de facto was repealed in both India and Pakistan in 1950 and 1956, respectively, as I mentioned, when these two countries got their constitutions and became republics. But they only did so de facto because the constitutions of India and Pakistan could not repeal an act of the United Kingdom. So it would require a superseding act to repeal it in the United Kingdom. Well, that never happened. So the Indian Independence Act still exists. So theoretically, Britain can still claim that these two countries are still crown dominions, but de facto this has changed, and de facto this has been accepted by United Kingdom and the rest of the world. These are sovereign independent countries. They've been so since 1950 in the case of India, 1956 in the case of Pakistan. So with that, I would like to conclude this video. Thank you for watching. I'm going to start making more such videos. Hopefully the content would get better as we go on. The topics would be hopefully as interesting as this one. Things that you might not have heard of, things you might have heard of partially. Please do follow this channel. A lot more coming in this channel very soon. Thank you. Jai Hind.